Okay, a quick update. This is progress which has been made on the virtual training school for pilot training, REMMI pilot training. There's been some ups and downs with it, but I think the net result now is we're actually some of the misfortunes that have happened have actually ended up in a very positive result, which I think was much better than it could have been had we not had the misfortunes, if you understand what I'm saying. Basically, the agreement which I had with a group who I was working with fell through due to, I think, too many people on the board there. There was probably, I think there was about 70 people on that board, and a couple of them eventually raised objections, not having had all of the information. But so the project was rejected by them in the end. But now I've moved on. We have moved on to a different idea. And basically, the original idea was to build a custom, a specific application building for the REMMI training school, and the difficulty was that the building would need to be in another place where there's existing environment, and that building would have had to fit into their requirements as well as fit the requirements of the training school itself, and it was quite difficult. So this is a different concept, and personally I think you'll agree, it actually is better than navigating around an artificial school. So what we've got here is a world, an in-world place. It's actually a reproduction of a tourist attraction called Le Mont Saint-Michel, and that is an actual real, there is such a place in real life, and this is a replica of it in Second Life. You can see here we've got a shop sign there. This is where I've just rented a shop location, and this is the avatar, the UAV avatar that you would be wearing as pilots. What you would see, you wouldn't have this view that we've got here because the camera is artificially removed. Here I'm just showing you it for demonstration purposes so that you can see what's happening. But if we go into the mode which the trainees will be locked into, because in reality on a UAV they're not going to have remote cameras, they're going to have just the cameras on the actual UAV, so their viewers will be locked into that for the duration of their training. But I'll just show you the difference between mouse view. This is mouse view, so you don't see yourself, you just see out of the and when you move forward you don't actually see how close your body is to any obstructions. So that's what makes it will be slightly tricky to navigate a real UAV, but practice makes perfect. So I'll stay in that mode for the moment just to give you a quick demo. So this is a place, it has alleyways. This is the main shopping alleyway, and we can navigate down there, we can walk down through this. And you can see it's all shops. Now I'm going to make my way up quickly through the course that I would expect the training course to consist of. So walking up the alleyway, we go back up past the REMMI shop, and this is the REMMI shop is where you would materialise, and you would come out and turn up the hill here, walk up the hill, and it's a little bit jerky at the moment, but I think it'll be smoother when we're not trying to record at the same time. I mean, basically at the moment my machine is having to record this real time, at the same time as I'm actually it's resing all the 3D world as well, so it's doing a lot of work here. We'll keep climbing the hill, up we go, navigating up to it, and all I'm doing is pushing the forward arrow, and when we hit the stairs, the UAV will have enough intelligence to know that this is a sort of slope, and it will maintain a constant distance away from the ground, so that it gives you the impression that you're floating along with your head at the sort of height you would normally expect it to be when you're walking. So this is the UAV in walk mode, and new trainees during this part of the course will be locked into walk mode because they don't want flying at uncontrolled heights until people have got used to navigating. So what we'll require you to do is to navigate this course in walk mode all the way to the top. Now this is quite a tall climb, and we've got lots of passageways and things to negotiate. So that's a reasonable challenge. I'm expecting maybe the course to come to maybe half an hour of this type of navigating around. And when you complete this course, you will have enough experience to navigate the real UAV. And you can see there a sign, it says on it, Wahey reception. So this is the first sort of tourist sign that we've got actually inside the castle. And when we carry on up the stairs, we find that we've got more on the way round. Just climbing up still, and keep going, climbing. And basically it's a climb up to the top of a very picturesque castle. Keep going here. As I say, my machine is recording this at the same time, and that's why I've got a very jerky screen, but you won't have that on yours. Okay, right, so there's the next tourist sign, and what I'm going to do is I'll put an object on each of these which you need to click on, and each time you click on an object you get another token, and at the end of it, once you've collected all of the tokens, you'll be awarded rewards, and the first reward will be the ability to fly. An avatar over there, and once you've got the ability to fly, then you will be able to fly back down, or actually to fly to test your ability to fly, we need an object right at the top of the statue at the top of this church. It's a monastery, and it's actually a church, this building. Right at the top of the building there's a statue, and on the top of that statue will be the final object. Once you've flown up there, after you've got the ability to fly by collecting the previous objects, then you will be awarded your REMMI Pilot's handbook, which will give you all the guidance to using the REMMI UAV, and also an electronic key, which when you log onto the real REMMI UAV using the viewer with your Oculus Rift, if you've got one, you'll be asked for your key, and it'll be a unique key, and when you use that key, it will admit you to fly the real REMMI UAV. But you won't be able to get that until this course has been completed. Yeah, there's a navigation point over there, just on the wall. You can see it just there. There's a white oblong on the wall there. We just need to get to that. As I say, the UAV will have, in this mode, the UAV will have enough intelligence to maintain a constant height above the ground at something like head height. Okay, yeah, straight down that way. But you can see it's there's a challenge here. Getting around this will get you a good feel for how the actual UAV will handle, and it will be engineered to handle with the same kind of response time and the same kind of feel as we've got here. Deliberately, it will fly. Not ideally, it will fly like this, like the way the virtual worlds work, because that's what people will be used to. They won't be expecting to be able to do acrobatics, and we're not trying to qualify people to be skilled pilots. We're just trying to qualify people to have enough experience to be able to navigate around and not cause hazard or annoyance to surrounding people or items, So I'll carry on down here. You just bear with me until we get back outside again, and I'll show you the flight, and then that'll be the end of this little update. Okay. Now, I've been around this a few times, but I still get lost. It's quite an intricate place, and as far as I'm aware, this is a fairly accurate replica of the real place. I've never been there, but if it's like this, it must be quite complicated. Okay. Right. No. Well, that's the way out anyway. We'll fly from here. That'll do for the navigation. There's a lot more to do, but I'll navigate out here just to cut the movie short. I think you've got the general idea. Page up, and we fly. So now you can see what the place actually looks like from the air. Just take a look round. Now I'm pressing the back arrow to go backwards here. I'm pressing the forward arrow to go forwards. I'm pressing the page up to go straight up vertically. And this is how the real UAV will fly. And when we go forward, when we point the cursor at a particular location, it heads towards that point. So the last item is going to be, aim just above that. The last item is going to be up here. There, on this statue. And when you collect that last item, provided you've collected all the previous items and you've used the browsers, the viewer that's designed for the test, that will be you qualified. And you'll be qualified to go and fly in a real world tourist site with a REMMI-UAV. And the reason I'm giving you this update is because the fundraising so far has been a little bit slow. So I'm aware that I need to do some work to gain some more confidence in the project. I'm sure that people will be looking and saying, well, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. So this is the work that's been going on the actual training school. We've got an avatar with an actual, I'll just come back to our mouse view again. Mouse view. We've got an avatar with an actual REMMI-UAV body on it. That body has been done in a thing called Blender, which is a 3D editor. It's a mesh body, and that mesh is also the same mesh that's going to be used to manufacture the body using the 3D printer. So you can see that a fair amount of work is getting done here to get towards an actual product. Behind the scenes also, I'm not going to give you an update on this at the moment, but basically we have also the model, the SysML model, which is being updated with every time. One of the reasons I believe that this funding is a bit slow is because people don't really understand what they're getting with model-based design. The problem is, if you can't comprehend the benefits of it, then you don't see any advantage and there's no motivation to take the training. But believe me, I couldn't do half the things that I've done or will do without it. It enables a single person to do what a large company would normally be required for. And it's what makes a project like this possible by one person with some occasional support and help from expert parties. But essentially this project will be carried out pretty much by one person. Maybe later in the project we'll employ one or two people, but at the moment there's no reason, I can't see any reason to need anyone else just at the moment. It might be that we could run into problems later on in the project and need help, and in that case, we quickly call them in. But at the moment, can't see anywhere that that's likely to happen. As I say, model-based engineering makes a lot of things possible. So there we are. That's all for now.